G'day guys. Welcome to another stream. This time what I'm going to do is going to be a flight between Adelaide in South Australia, and I'm going to be just doing a short flight for about an hour over to Melbourne. ICA codes for both these airports. Adelaide's Yankee Papa Alpha Delta, and Melbourne is Yankee Mike Lima. I'm going to be flying in the latest version of the Zibo, the 738, which has had basically a major upgrade, and as much that we should now be able to save some of our flights. I think it's, from what I found out so far, it has about 4 save points, which quite frankly is I'd say is probably going to be enough, and it'll just mean that particularly I'd say during an approach, where usually a lot of the trouble happens, if you mess up the approach you can go back and do it again. So I've been waiting for this for quite a while. I can remember back in the days of FSX and PMDG, they're Boeing, and I think there was a plugin called FSC UIP, and you could program that to do a save every so many seconds, minutes, whatever. So it was always very handy, particularly if you messed up a flight. So this once it's all the bugs are ironed out in it, because I believe there are some bugs, it won't save all your situations. There might be some things like flaps or whatever it is that aren't set the same, but gee, this should be pretty good. I hope it works, and I understand Zibo is working hard on it to make it even better. We'll just quickly have a look here around Adelaide. Adelaide that's the Vincent's Gulf, I think. Should know my geography. This is a freeware. Leaves a lot to be desired, but it's the only one that's around. These horrible looking boxes here, I don't think they look all that good, but could have been cleaned up a bit. I think the air bridge does work, but we'll find out. Now, as far as weather's concerned, I'm just going to go with explain a default weather. My frame's at the moment at 30, 29. If I load active sky, it'll probably be okay, but what I find with the Zibo is it does drag my frame rates down, so much so that if I'm online with ATC, I'm just bordering on 20, and it's going to be that way for me, I would imagine, until Vulcan comes out, and I'm hoping that's going to improve things. Okay, into the cockpit. First thing we do, of course, is make sure everything's working here. Let's have a look. Okay. Battery switch on. That one goes on. Ground service, GPU connect. And that. Seven minutes alignment time. I'm having a bit of trouble with my keyboard here, but pardon me. Okay, so we've got Yankee Papa Alpha Delta. And that's Yankee Mike Lima. Okay, company route, well, SimBrief have given me one. There's not a lot of waypoints, only about 4, but I'll use the company route anyway. And the flight number will be, because it's in Virgin Australia, is Velocity, which is Victor Oscar Zulu, and it'll be 150. Activate that, execute it, perfect, we can leave there, and go over to the business now of doing our fuel weights and balances. Now, I know you can fill this all in with zones and things like that, but I'm just going to use the cheats way. Payload, as per SimBrief, is 28400. It says here 0 fuel rate 12344. Oh, hang on, I've got to put in the fuel, of course. There we go. Fuel is for this the block fuel is 13276. Okay, actual fuel. I'm assuming that's what it means, actual. Our payload we got there before. Now let's have a look and see what our zero fuel weight is. 123,443. SimBrief says 123,219. We're pretty close. And the takeoff weight is 136,219, whereas SimBrief says 135,995. I'm not going to try and fiddle around adjusting that. And it's automatically filled out the weights here. Pretty handy. Okay, back to home. And we better start, back there, back. Ground services. Fill it up. Would have been a good idea for me to open up a few doors though. And the cargo at least. Whoop. Open that one. Don't think I need to open any others. Back to home. Let's start loading the cargo, and we can start loading the passengers. All right, let's get our position light on there. I'll get these passengers set down.
The seatbelt sign is on. Please be seated and fasten your seatbelt.
Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until all carrying items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
Better look for the Q&H here.
Guys, DeLeo's on board.
Okay. We've got all that done. Let's have a look and see how the fuel's going. Oh, it's already loaded. That was quick. Okay. Waiting for this to come through. There we go, ATIS. Okay, we've got 020 at 8 knots for our wind direction and our wind speed. It's Cavok and QNH is 1015. I'll put that in straight away. Let's get that out of the way. Done. Okay, now we should be able to just check outside that the fueling is finished, because once that happens the truck goes, so it's gone. So we should be able to just push these, fill things in. Our reserves are going to be 2. Cost index CI. Should have looked that up. Hang on. That's 8. It's not a big one, is it? Flight level for this flight is 370,000. And we've got a TI top climb winds is at 220. Outside temperature up there is going to be -52 centigrade. Celsius, centigrade. Transition altitude in Australia is 10,000, which is correct there. And I think what we can do now, just very quickly, is stop the flight, the passengers. I'll start the service cruise. If I remember right, you can't have both going together. Our alignment's through too, by the way. Now the next thing to do is to look at our habitat. Look at our airport. Captain Geo, g'day mate, how are you? Just got home from work. Oh boy. Now there's our information there anyway, 020, so just go along here to the airport itself. I can pretty well guess, because I've flown in and out of here so many times, but I can pretty well guess it's going to be runway 5. So the 020 is you know, roughly here, so wind direction down there, then 05. That's fairly sort of standard departure for Adelaide. Let's just have a quick look at our departures. Bendo is probably going to be it. I'll just going to check down here with our FMC. Let's have a look at our legs. Bendo is pretty well standard as the first waypoint, and it's the SID as well. That's to be expected. Just to go back up here again, hit the bendo. So there's our runways for 5's here, so bendo is just basically straight out and over to the right. Transition at Rogs, and there's bendo, and then from bendo over to Melbourne. Okay, so back to our airport, our runway. Yep, our airport. There we are. So basically, it's taxi on to Alpha, either from Lima or Kilo here onto Alpha. Follow Alpha 6, Alpha 5, Alpha 4, and we go down Foxtrot 3 all the way down to Foxtrot 6 and holding point here at 05. I think we can do away with our where am I? With our service crews. I'm going to get our APU up. We'll give the passengers some air. I'll do this before I forget it. That's up to flight level 370. Back down here. Let's go to our departures. Depart. It'll be 05. It'll be bendo 2. Execute. Legs. There we go. Now, as far as Melbourne's concerned, I'll wait till we're in the air before I work out the SARS in case there's a wind direction, change in wind direction. First though, we'll go over here and now look at our modes. Pretty straightforward. 5 up here, turn right. Rogs bend out and all the way over to Arby, and Arby in fact will be the last waypoint, and there's a star into runway 16 with the name RB2, and that's probably what we're going to be using. It should be an easy flight. Okay, let's have a look. We've got our APU available. Don't forget to turn him on. Going to put our yaw damper on. Now this can go over to OPU. We can go to our ground service and disconnect that fellow. Okay, let's look at our MCP, look at our flight directors on. And altitude, we're going to up to 10 initially. And I better have a look and see what our, yeah, that's a lot of noise, isn't it? Let's have a look at our takeoff, eh? Okay, that's that. I've got to go back one, haven't I? Our performance. That's right, N1 limits. Okay. Let's go for a 41 D rate. Gives us 95% reduction. Now we can go here, put our flaps in. CG. Get our V-speeds over there, trims 450. It's got to go back. V1's 132. And I should have a look. just to see what our runway direction is. 042. Looking good. I think it's about time we close a few doors. Check outside just to make sure they are. Just out of curiosity, that's it's a Cathay Pacific aircraft. It's a big Airbus. In fact, yeah, Cathay Pacific does fly from China, Hong Kong in particular, down to Adelaide. In fact, I was on one of those flights a long time ago. But I wanted to get off at Brisbane, so it was all the way down to Adelaide and then back on the same aircraft and back up to Brisbane. So quite a long flight all up. So we don't need this page anymore. We'll just put this for climb. And I think it's about time we call for pushback. Our tail will be going over to the right. We've got to delete that, haven't we? Got to delete that one too.
All right, Captain, got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
That's nice to know. Let's check things out here. So our APU generator's on. We've got our yaw damper on. The window heat's on. Looking down here, we've got our circulation fans going. Our packs are on auto at the moment. Bleeds are on. We may as well put our anti-collision light on. All our switches are right here. We've got our seatbelts fastened. We don't need the ground power anymore, but that's already gone.
All right. Looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Such a friendly fellow. Thinking I might get that X-camera program.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go. Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
We won't be using center tank today. Just make sure I've turned my fuels on. That'll go to N2 at 25 very quickly in this aircraft. I always seem to have trouble with that. There we are. flaps 5. Yeah, it doesn't take long, does it, in 2 to rise? Yeah, see now my frames are just 20, see? You just on 2021, which is really tight as if I was on ATC on VATSIM. And I've adjusted quite a lot of my settings and it still doesn't help a lot. Okay, let's get this one going. We can turn the APU off. We don't need that bleed anymore. We'll put all this over to auto. We get our hydraulic pumps on. That can go over Gen 2 will do. That goes over to TR1. And we'll
just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
I will. I'll set it.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
So while he's doing that, I'll just check my pedals and our controls. Let's have a look outside. Good. He's leaving us. I hope the sound's okay with this.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Okay. What else do we need to do here? Nothing. Looks pretty good. Yep. Let's start the clock, eh? Handbrake off. I was wondering to see how the save games works now, or save flight, I think is the right word for it. Can't use that word game. What I might do is when we get down to the holding point, see what happens, eh? Well, the steering on this, unfortunately, my pedals calibration could be fixed. Should have really gone through my AFB to make sure all the settings were right. I just saved my preferences from the previous Zibo version. I saved them across to this new version. So all my joystick settings and views are all saved. I'm hoping that everything's been saved in the AFBs as far as configuration and stuff like that. Actually, I know what I didn't do. Naughty me. And in fact, I'm just going to stop here for a moment. There's no traffic to worry about. I know what I forgot. This is what I forgot. Runway 5, it's dry. Ah, the wind. I forget. Outside temperature 15, QNH I think was, what was it again? 1015. Takeoff weight. Takeoff weight. Oh, I'll put it in, see what happens. It was 135,995 according to SimBrief. The wind. What did I have for the wind? Don't want to go through looking at the ACARs again. I think I'll leave that. Get back to what we were doing. Okay, down here to there. Here we go. Now we don't do this first turn here to the left. It's the second one. Okay, crossing the runway. Nothing that way and nothing that way. But take your eyes off and you're in trouble. There we go. Yeah, I'm wondering a bit with those foot pedals. A little bit of a taxiway to go, so while we're doing that, and hopefully it'll stay on course, this is, I believe, how we go into save load. So I'm going to save that one, okay? Which means that if we have to rerun this, it's just the, we should be able to then just taxi to the holding point. See, it's a fair way to taxi. Yeah, a bit blurry over there with the scenery.
units, please be seated for departure.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Okay, we'll just line up here for a minute. Our landing lights are already on. The only thing I've got to do when I stop is TARA. Yeah, off we go again. Gee. Just bring it back online again. Okay, we've got over 40, nearly 50% there, so we can toga. Our airspeed's alive.
80 knots.
Check.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear can come up. And we'll do a bit of hand steering, eh?
400.
Check.
$1,000.
Check, check. Nose up a bit. Let's have a look outside. Nose gone down a little bit. Let's lift that up. And we'll take our first flap out. Flies beautifully, this aircraft. Bit of manual trim there. Bug up, eh, to 250. I was a bit too high there, come down again. Okay, we may as well go auto, LNAV, VNAV, flaps all the way up. Very nice turn there. And that's Adelaide CBD down there. There's our runway. I think if I remember right, this is an ortho tile. That's what they call the Adelaide Hills. And always, not always, but very susceptible to bushfires. Yeah, we pretty right. Oh yeah, getting up into the clouds already. So close to our 10,000 feet transition height anyway. So we'll switch it up to flight level 370. And our heading's now changed. 116. We should be 250 then. Oh no, already up to 285. Move him out of the way. Yep. And we can go to standard barrow. So far, so good. Let's
From all of us at American Airlines, thank you for flying with us today.
American?
We're proud to be Air
No,
Transport
mate.
World's 2017 Airline of the Year. A special welcome to Advantage in One World members.
Can't listen to that when I'm in Australia, can I? And I suppose it's a good chance now to have a look at my configurations to see whether, yeah, side by side, ND track up, they look good. IRS position entry missile message align. Oh. So we've got long LED strobes on, yes, the winglets are blended, yeah, that's okay. Satcom both. We got our landing pulse light on, it's LED lights. No head-up display for the captain. We've got the PFD angle of attack, RA. Not as a circle. We've got comm radios. I've got 3 digits on the comm radios. Multi-mode receiver. Yep, aspirated temperature outside toe. Temperature outside. Temperature toe. Prode. RA call outs at 10. Yep, and all the way down to 400. Hard call out 500. Another one there. So everything there looks good. EFDV reference flap speed, flaps and speed. TCAS dotted range. Okay, so that was our that's what our display variants, our hardware differential. There's the nose wheel axis. I got it on yaw, but I don't know. It must be my foot pedals themselves. Throttle noise locks off, again with the chocks on, chocks, blah blah blah, yoke auto center, no Brunner hardware. That's our hardware configurator, realism, line time reel, yeah, refuel time reel. No pausing at top descent, tyre blown advanced. Oh, okay, I don't mind. So disconnect from the APU. I think that means if I move the yoke, it will disconnect the autopilot, and to do that, I think that should go over to CWS. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good there. Okay, so that's realism. Visual effects, ski for the rain. All of this stuff's on. I've hid my passengers because my frame rates would go through the roof. Yeah, I work in pounds. I know I should be working in kilograms. Australia is metric. Baro units are in hectopascals, that's okay. And our minimums are usually baro. Hide the yoke if I want to. Chocks on start up. Yeah, off. I don't mind if they're on. FME. Oh, that should be FMS. Sync pilot QNH minims, Captain, that's what I want. Intercom radio for me. Custom, create custom nav data. No, I'm not going to do that. Pardon me, audio. Passengers getting on board, yes. Pax chatter. Actually, it's a large airport normally. I don't want to mute the trim wheel. I don't want analog gyro. Don't want to mute the FMC if it dings. Don't really need applause by the passengers because I don't have any to see. And wing light triggers the announcement. There's our volumes, 555 passenger volume PM. Put that up. Airport volume, you can stay, everything there can stay the same. Bumps volume, I might put that up a bit. And that too. I think TCAS can come on a bit. If you say so. Weather volume, yeah, trim wheel volume's okay. That looks about right. Calibration, well, no, I won't touch that at the moment. So, okay. Alright, let's see where we are, right? Flight level 260, we're at 285 knots. There's Arby. So we don't have far to go, so there's the top of climb. So we may as well start looking at Melbourne. And we've got a cav up there too today, which is good. And QNH. I write it down, I always write things down. And a wind direction here is, where are we? What is that? 10 degrees, 10 knots. Oh, bit of a breeze. So I can pretty well tell. Hang on a minute, 10 degree, 10 degrees at 10 knots. Right, that'll be a different approach. So, Simbrief gave me runway 16, but I don't think it's going to be that. It should be, so runway 30, hang on, airport. We do have a cross runway. Okay, so 10 degrees is going to be like that, which means it should be runway 34. 10 degrees, 10 knots. We come in on 09, but that's a 10 knot. I'd say it's going to be runway 34. And if I remember right, runway 34 is going to be nav approach No ILS there. Hubby. That's going to change things. This is going to be Wendy for sure. There we go. See Wendy A9A. Runway 09 or runway 34. Let's have a look. Black Knight, g'day, how are you? Only just looked at the chat because it's a pretty quiet night tonight. Thanks for the ATIS. Yeah, what does it say there? Yeah, hang on a minute. Oh no. 180 degrees at 10 knots. That changes things. I'll go by yours, mate. Okay, so 180, that's coming directly from the south, so we can ignore that and go back to our RB's arrival. Here we go. So it'll be 09 or 16. This is fairly much the very basic approaches to Melbourne Airport. So I'll be coming in straight on to Arby. So there's your 180 degrees. It's coming, well, hang on. It's coming straight up. So it's 34 or 16. We go back and have a look. Yeah, that was 34. So 180 degree wind means it's runway 16. Yeah, as I said, runway 16 is the most used runway. There's a fair bit comes in on runway 27. Don't get a lot in on runway 34, and that's why it's only an RNAV approach, and not quite a lot on 09. I know 27's got ILS. I think 09 might have ILS as well, but it certainly looks like it's a 16. Yes, thanks, Black Knight. Yeah, it's probably like it is everywhere in the world at the moment with this goddamn virus worrying the hell out of everybody, and it's very, very hard to settle down and just take your mind off things. And that's one reason why I thought, damn it, I'm going to do a stream tonight, just to forget about it for a while. And my daughter never listen to parents, do they? She went off on Thursday, flew up to Bali with a girlfriend. She was supposed to go with 3 others. 2 of them pulled out because they had family and kids. My daughter doesn't have any kids, so she didn't have a problem. So she and this other one went up. And we just got the phone call a couple of hours ago saying that they're going to come back because they heard that New Zealand had cancelled all arrivals. And what you didn't know is that around about the time she rang, the Prime Minister of Australia has now announced that all passengers, all travellers coming into Australia, whether returning citizens or not, 14 days voluntary isolation. So she doesn't know that yet, but I said to her, I don't think it's a good idea to go with all this talk about, viruses and things, but so let's get back to what we were doing. It's just too depressing listening to all this stuff. So 16, and it will be RB, and I'll get that into the FMC now before we get to our top of descent, because it does come along fairly quickly. Arrival, YML, it'll be ILS 16Y we'll do, and there's your RB. No other transitions to worry about. Here's our legs. Let's just run through it. You can see it's pretty well straight in. There's some belters. Got to be at 3,000 at belter. I remember that much. Yep, everything that's looking pretty good. And we should start to see it. Yeah, see it top of descent's just in a bit over 80. So best thing I look at our VREF. 40 degrees, 30 degrees at 142. I'm going to put in the 40 at 135, which means that's 140. I don't usually take flaps 40, but we can fiddle with it. Okay, so I'll write it down. $140. And there's our frequency, that's 109.7. 160 degree is our course. Okay, back to the legs. Let's go up to here. Put in our course. 160. I don't do this now, it'll catch up with me, so 160 there. And both of these have got to be, let's see, so 109, 109.7. That's that one. Okay, we're set up there. One more thing to do here, which I like to do. Let's get our rings in. Done. Now we can start looking at our so we know what our arrival is going to be. That's pretty straightforward. Our one there. We'll be coming in over to Arby here. So getting back to here, we can go to our approach, and it was an ILS 16Y, ILS Y, localized 16. Yeah, you're right. Always remain ahead of the aircraft. So just confirming 109.7, course is 160. And we should have an approach 3,000 feet. Pretty well most of the capital city airports around Australia are 3. Let's go down and have a look at our decision heights. ILS straight in, landing 16, decision height 640, and that's because Melbourne is about 434 degrees, 434 feet above sea level. So where am I? 432. think it can only do it in increments of 50. So I'll leave it at 450. I'll look at the missed approach in a minute, but we've got 640 baro for our decision height. Okay, and Black Knight very kindly has given me QNH, which is 1025. And we're done. Just one quick thing to have a look at. Missed approach track 160, which is the runway heading. Climb to 4 is direct by ATC. So the missed approach, well, ATC, so I'll just have to fly my own without ATC. Done. And just to kill a bit of time before top of descent, which is coming up. Let's just have a look at the map. Might get an idea what it looks like flying across this part of Australia. Yeah, you can see my frames are still just hovering on that 20. Okay, there's Adelaide. Melbourne here, so you can see we're already halfway. And this area over here, you see here, that's where a lot of the bushfires are, or were. And of course, if you go up here, it was all down around here that most of those really bad ones were, and up around here too. Canberra had some around it. But yeah, there were some pretty nasty ones all around here. But if you saw the news item where people were on the beach, it was down here. But there's been some nasty fires in there over the years. They occasionally get them over here as well. Let's see if there's any other areas here. They're not putting any titles on them. Just over the Dandenong Ranges over here was where quite a few years ago there was 130 people killed in a bushfire, just ravaged the towns. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm having something to chew on. When it comes out, there we go. Yeah, right. Now what I propose to do is under this new save and load thing, I've saved one flight on one. You can see there's only 4. I'm not going to use all 4. I've used one to, you might recall, just before I taxi for takeoff. What I'm going to do with the next saved flight is probably on descent, but maybe before we get down to say, let's have a look. See, belt is at 185 knots. Here we got 2 at 240. I think what I might do is save it when it's at 240 knots, because the gear won't be down and the flaps won't be down, and I think from what I've seen with this save feature, if you got your flaps down and you replay it, you may not find the flaps are down, if you understand. Then what I might do is, after I've landed and taxied up and almost shut down, because the one thing you've got to have, the engines have got to be running. So probably what I might do is save one as I'm taxiing it up to the gate, and then jump back and just see whether the approach are loaded up, and rather than go through all that process again, jump back to where I was taxiing to the gate. And in both cases the engines are going to be running, so it should work. Any minute now. I should be going down. One thing I didn't do was start up my overlay. I suppose it's not too late, or is it? Yeah, I'll give it a miss. Keep forgetting that. And we're descending. Yep, always wants that, doesn't it? Speed brake. Black Knight, you're saying, I don't mean to ask, is it a config save? I assume you mean it saves the entire configuration. I know that, is it the Tolus and one of the other Airbuses you can save and go back on a flight? Is that what you mean? Is it a configuration save? Actually, I'm not quite sure. I haven't sort of looked into where the Zibo must save something. Actually, I wasn't aware that it's had an update. It's FlyJ Sim, isn't it? Any idea what they did with it? I should check that out. I think, is there a, I'm not quite sure with this, is there a skunk upgrader? Oh, there it is. So if I click on that, oh, Oh, I shouldn't have done that, should I? Oh, it's okay. Update repository lock for maintenance. I won't fiddle with it now. I'll have a look later. I've got to get that speed brake off. Okay, what speed we're still? Oh, we're at 250, 240. Okay. How far are we out? Still we're about 50, 60 nautical miles out. Oh, even further, but 40, 40 nautical miles, and then another 10, is it, to Arby. Yeah, I think maybe at Arby is where I might try and save a game, save a flight. I know one thing I didn't do. I didn't let the passengers get up and move around, but doesn't matter. Right, Black Knight, I got you. They did make a couple of modifications to that, to the 200, including stopping the animation of the passenger windows during replays. Okay, and the advice is update by re-downloading from the site and not plug in. So in other words, re-download the entire aircraft again. Yeah, after I finish this flight, oh yeah, just might go and have a look at that. Another thing I didn't do is turn off any of this stuff. I'm slipping. Could have done this. None of these things. I really ignored that, didn't I? Anyway. That comes from not going through a checklist, isn't it? Must admit I haven't flown the 200 for a few weeks. I must get back into the swing of things. I went through all the pain of learning how to program the what do you call it? Yeah, it took me a while to get the hang of that thing. Yeah, the Zibo for that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah, you got to get that. You got to get that right. If you mess up one of those waypoints, the aircraft wants to do all sorts of weird things. And I reckon that back in the days when the 737-200 was relying on the Zibo, certainly had their workload. The crew certainly had their workload cut out for them with navigation. Whereas with this sort of stuff we got here, oh geez, it's all done for you. You know, even your VNAV and your descent's all done. The funny thing is too, you know, the question does arise from time to time with pilots, oh, you know, do you hand fly it a lot? And there's always guys say, oh yeah, you know, we hand fly it, you know, in and out and up to a certain level. But I must admit, a lot of the real world videos I've watched, I've seen a lot of them just hit that autopilot button almost as soon as they're out off the runway. I was surprised at the number that actually did it. And we should be slowing down to 240 soon. Oh geez, yeah. That the Korean one? Was that the Korean one? KE007? Let's get our barrow over now. So I might as well match our heading. In case we've got to do a go around. Bit of drag required, that'll get us down probably to 240 knots. So that Korean Air 747 strayed, and I remember all the, I remember when it got shot down by the Russians, and I also remember that all the conspiracy theories that it deliberately strayed from its course to do some spying or something like that. Okay, we can go back up here and now put our lights back on again. That was the one, Black Knight, yep. And I can't remember if it was shot down using a cannon fire or a missile, but many years ago they interviewed the pilot from the Russian MiG, and I think he did have some regrets about it, but he was probably under pressure to keep his mouth shut about a lot of it. Okay, here we go. Now I think what I might do, just let it straighten up. So I've got no flaps down, no gear down. Let's see whether things like, you know, the auto brake will go back to what it was set at. So we're pretty well straight. So what I might do is save number 2. There we go. I don't need that anymore at the moment. And we're showing up on this arrival chart already. Pardon me, but I better keep my eye on the ball. TIA, got to get rid of that. Descending down 6,000 feet, and we've got to go to 3 at Belter at least, and looks like the bananas lined up nicely. It should be straight ahead of us over there. There it is there actually. I just fogged up on me. Got a cloud in the way there. Yeah, okay. Now we're starting to see some action with the ILS. The localizer's already showing up dead level, and that shouldn't move, so I should be able to lock that in. More drag required. Okay. Now, should I be able to see it now? Where are we? It's gone foggy on me a bit. There it is. Lost it. That should be it there. Should be. It was mistaken for an RC-135, which is up. Yep, that's right, I remember that. He was indeed, when he learned that it was an airliner, and yes, he was under orders and pressure as well. Yep. Yeah, quite a lot of people died in that.
2,500.
Okay. Still
1,000 to go.
Roger, 1,000 to go. Let's take out flap 30. Whoops, yes, I did save it, so that's okay. Flap 1. 2 and 5 soon. Would have felt I could get rid of that the drag, speed brake there. It's gone. Oh no, it's still there. Okay, there we are, 3,000 feet. That's our approach speed. Sorry, approach height. And we can get some, I think we can stow that drag. I always use flaps 5 to slow us down. Now VREF was flap 40 and 140 knots. Our ILS's diamond's coming down very quickly, which it will do. We can take another flap there. We can and drop our gear. Let's get ourselves set up here. Hit the approach. Glide slopes alive, flaps all the way. We can arm the speed brake. And we can drop our speed now down to 135, sorry, 140. Like I said, I think I'm going to leave it on flap bar 30.
Approach altitude set.
Check. So let's have a look. What sort of a crosswind we got? Is it showing here? Nope. Okay. My aircraft. Bit high. Bit high.
500.
Bit high.
400. 300.
Think rate. Pull up.
200.
Pull up. Think rate. Think rate.
100. Approaching minimums. 50. 40.
Continue.
20. 10.
Long landing.
knots.
Okay. Acceptable landing, 279. That wasn't too good. A little bit high there. Like that. The job of the co-pilot at modern airlines is to feed the company dog. Lovely. Okay, we'll just look for a parking spot, and just before I turn in, I'll save it. Although really I could probably, yeah, I'll save it here. It really doesn't matter where, I suppose. And that's save 3. Okay, well, take my eyes off and straight away. Okay, where am I going to park this? But I won't turn the engines off. I believe that's the trick. That's all Qantas aircraft over there. I think there's one just in here that might do the trick. think there's one in here. Let's have a look. There's one here to the left. It's oh no, there's some over there. Looks like it's Qantas have got priority, eh? Whoever did this airport and study aircraft, he gave it all to Qantas. That's right, yep. Yeah, they did away with all the flight engineers, didn't they? Now, this is where I'm going to be just curious and just see what happens. So it was number 2. Let's see what happens. Are we ready for this? I'm not quite sure what's happening here. None of this is working. Let's just have a look, put this on pause for the moment. Now this, oh God, look at all of this. That didn't work so well for me. It's almost as if it has the same FMC settings as when I was taxiing up, because the FMC was empty. Showing me 6,500 feet, 250 knots. That part's right. And see, this isn't, I set that wasn't, that's gone. 140, that was my landing speed. So really, it's something I haven't got quite right yet for me. Let's just, oh, hang on, I think you've got to hit autopilot. Let's see what happens. Don't like that.
2,500.
Positive rate.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So if I put those on, it doesn't work. See, VNav, LNav doesn't work, so I'm not quite sure what I've got right here. Let's have a look and see if it's on course. So, nope, it seems to be going nowhere. Nothing here. Gears down. And remember, I hadn't set the gear down then, so a little bit of fiddling to do. Now, let's just load number 3, which should put me back at the airport taxiing in.
80 knots.
Let's have a look. I'll just pull her up here first. Now let's have a look what's what here. So this is your normal landing once the FMC's finished with. Yeah, 660 feet. That's the height of the airport, the runway. So now the auto brake is showing on when it should be off. There we go. Yeah, that seems to have worked. Yeah. And I did put the flaps down, and yeah, so that was all right, but it certainly didn't like the approach. So I should be able to load that again. So it's not loaded for some reason. That's set. There's the course. It's almost like it's yeah, see, even LNav and VNav aren't there. Flight director's still on. So if I hit that button very quickly, don't know what it's doing.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Yep. Something I
Positive
haven't.
rate.
Yeah, positive rate. Okay. Something I haven't quite figured out. Again, if I go back to this one, and here we are.
80 knots.
Where am I going? Well, what I'll do is I'll just continue on and just stop it. I won't take it any further, much to the average. I just did this as a bit of a test to see whether the save flight worked properly. Just out of curiosity though, let's just go and have a look and see what save 1 does. Nothing. Oh, it looks like she might die. Yep. I don't think it was happy with that. Well, it's still showing the egg timer there, so maybe it will load. And if not, I'll just end the stream there. And thanks to Black Knight and to Geo for joining in the chat there for a while. I must admit, I enjoyed the flight itself. We'll just give it a little bit longer, and if it nothing happens, yeah, it's almost like it's just stuck, not responding. Bang.
V1.
And where did I end up here? Grass strip. Oh, okay. Now it's the scenery's starting to load in now. What I might do is just put this fellow on. The frames have dropped right down to well under 20. Yeah, it's starting to draw now. Yeah, I think I might just leave it at that and try again next time. It is a work in progress, so whereas it might work for others, it didn't work for me, but then Zibo will obviously sort it all out. So guys, thanks again, and see you next time.